Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Home Cookin'. You got the chef Alan here, and you got the Bluska. Bluska, what's good?
Just another day in the life. What's on the menu for today?
Yeah, so for the lucky listeners today, we got a more sports centered type of episode today, and touching on big injuries in the NFL, and yeah, we're just gonna dive in on how that impacts or how prevalent injuries have been and how impactful they have been so far this season. Yeah, we're also going to touch on the NBA. We're going to touch on the max contracts that have been handed out by a lot of teams recently, and also of how the Lakers have been somehow handed gifts from other teams. And I know, Bluska, you want to dig into that. So
Yeah, I have my 2 cents about that. But to start with the NFL, so first off, the injuries. Injuries have been coming in bunches. Personally, it has destroyed my fantasy teams. I've lost in one league, Edelman, Kittle, Saquon. So that right there is like I kind of had to give up, but I'm still fighting, but tough sledding. But that right there, just to start the year, Saquon and McCaffrey, you can see how that started. But now you get the list, and it's just been added with like big names. So you got Barkley, you have Odell, Breeze with the fractured ribs,
right,
Bridgewater, Devin Bush on the Steelers, Nick Boyle on the Ravens, Cortland Sutton on the Broncos, Dak Prescott and Tyron Smith on the Dallas Cowboys, Mixon and Joe Burrow on the Bengals, and I haven't even touched the San Fran yet. Like as you can see, like the list is just tragic, really. It's tough to see, especially because a lot of these players are like guys that put their mark on the games, and their teams are definitely not the same without them, and it turns into a hopeful situation to like somewhat of a tanking situation for these teams.
yeah, no, exactly. And I think that one of the big examples is the 49ers who have like a middling record right now. I think they're still under 500, but yeah, like you said, like in the beginning of the year, you're looking at that defense, all the different pieces on there, and I think Richard Sherman's gone too, right? And
Sherman, Garoppolo,
oh,
Raheem Mostert,
well, okay,
and Ziggy,
to be
the
honest, no,
Ambosa.
you're looking at I don't know, maybe when it comes to like team building, I always like to build through the draft, and I'm all about those trades and stuff, but yeah, they give them an opportunity to like all the injuries to the San Francisco 49ers gave them a chance to pick up an impact player in the draft, right? This team just went to the Super Bowl like just more than like a season ago, right? So
Mhm.
they got the pieces, and hey, if the 49ers can drop enough, maybe they'll pick up a quarterback, and yeah, you'll see. Like I mean, like look at it. Debo Samuel's been injured too, right? He hasn't been here the whole year.
Yeah.
So
So just to let it be known, you're not a fan of Jimmy.
oh, yeah, porn star Jimmy. We don't dabble with that. Just he's not good enough, to be honest. He's
For my liking, I feel like he was like middle of the pack, average, he's not top 10, but he's like maybe like 13 to like 18. He's like somewhere around there, and that's just like
yeah. Okay, okay.
one
How about would you take Cousins over him?
Kirk Cousins, uh, Michigan State Spartan, but man, would I take Kirk Cousins over Jimmy Garoppolo?
Hmm.
Honestly, on fantasy, I would definitely start Kirk Cousins over Jimmy, though. I guess that's my easier question.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, they're both like a run first type offense, but Dalvin Cook and just Shanahan, how he handles his offense. It's like, but I would rather put the ball in Kirk Cousins' hands. I feel like he's produced more with the weapons that he had. Like, you know what I mean? Like, remember when Diggs and Thielen a couple years ago, they were over 900 yards. I want to say 1,000, but probably 900. Like, he produced. He just doesn't win the big moments. That's what it
There you
is.
go. Yeah,
But
that's why I always thought that they were like comparable quarterbacks. But yeah, 49ers and their injuries. But so let's get the up and coming star that we really should talk about. And it just happened the other day, Joe Burrow, and before I let you pass it on to you, just hearing about like the reports on the injury saying it's similar to what Carson Wentz experienced, where not even the ACL, it was the MCL that tore and other ligaments. Like yeah, like it's terrible because it's and one analyst I was listening to was mentioning how they didn't like we haven't even seen or gotten a chance to see how good Joe Burrows could be. And like, is this something that will like? Do you think it's something long term that's just gonna like we'll never see what he could have got if he didn't get this injury? So
I think Joe Burrow's a dog. I really like Joe Burrow. I like his attitude. Like there's this take where he said like he was just getting pounded on. Remember, I think it was against Philly. He was just getting like hit after hit, and like he'd look at the ref and like he wouldn't be getting the calls that if he would be getting if he was like a Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady, right? But
right,
he told the defense that he was playing against like I'm gonna get those calls when I'm gonna be the GOAT. So
okay,
and then he earned their respect there. So I like his swag, and I think he's tough. I think he's gonna definitely push to come back as strong. I think he will come back, and just maybe that gives a chance to Cincinnati to get another decent pick. Well, they're going that way anyways, but I think he's already. I already prefer him over Baker Mayfield. I'll say that. So
oh really? Okay,
yeah. So
yeah, well, Scott, I thought you were gonna say I already prefer him better than Jimmy Garoppolo and Kirk Cousins, but I mean, I guess not. No,
honestly, I'm with that too. I'm with I'm with that too. Uh, he has a sauce, He has a sauce for sure, and the swag, sauce and the swag.
I think he is leading the league in quarterback hits. So yeah, they got to
Yeah,
show up.
and throws. He was averaging like a ridiculous amount of throws per game, and I'm pretty sure he was leading the league in that too as a first year. So obviously his coach had some trust in him. I guess losing Joe Mixon doesn't help either, but
That's
he
true.
was doing what he had to do. But once again, one thing about injuries that always it brings out the stars in the making, or maybe you're a once in upon a time promising draft pick that has been buried, and now you get another chance to show what you got. So that's always the other side of the injuries. It gives someone the opportunity to come out and show their stuff. So maybe in the next couple of months or weeks we'll just see a new blooming star with these with these big gaps that need to be filled. But yeah, some teams have actually just gotten more like unlucky than the others, like the Giants losing Saquon and then picking up Devontae Freeman, and then he was put on the IR. Like
Exactly. They still have a chance to win the division, and we don't. We'll save that for our next guest when we talk about NFL a little bit. But yeah, it's tough, and the amount of injuries, and yeah, just looking at this, you're seeing a lot of like Achilles injuries, a lot of shoulder injuries, lots of knee injuries, and those are the big ones that it takes time for people to come back. And yeah, I guess the last one major thing that we really haven't touched on, and I want to get your thoughts on because he's a pretty polarizing figure. Odell Beckham, do you think he like ACL injury at his age? He has been showing a decline in production since he's got to the Browns. Yeah, do you think he number one will still be on the Browns come next year, or do you think he can get that second wind in his career? Because I still remember, and I saw the highlight of the other day when he got that catch against the Cowboys. I'm like, oh, where was this Odell? Like
I
he's
remember watching that live. That was ridiculous. And you see the type of player he is. He held a lot of the records for most yardages in his first like X amount of games. So he went to the Browns. I was like, I guess you want to change a culture. Like I guess.
I guess
I guess, but
I
like
guess
I I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you might want a shot with like a veteran quarterback. Is he in his
like
contract year? Is it a contract year this year? I'm not even
I
sure.
think no, I think it's more of a cap casualty type of
Oh,
thing.
okay, yeah, yeah. If I'm the Browns, personally, I would
You do it? You'd snip. You'd snip the.
Man, if I was Odell, I'd want to be. I want to go somewhere else. Like I just want like an actual quarterback, like someone that's like a chance to play with an Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes or Russell Wilson or you're not like someone that's has like a legitimate shot to like win at least your division, you know, like you're in the playoffs. I guess in that sense, you could go to back to the
Yeah.
Giants.
Or actually, the Giants. Are you kidding me?
But no, I'm
That's
just
a hot
joking.
take. That's hot.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know. I feel like at that point in his age, and then he'll be more focused on winning.
Right.
He's got the endorsements and all that. I think that's where his mind will be at.
Yeah, I don't know. On my side, I think that yeah, when you look at the finances, it makes sense, like you said, for the Browns to look at moving on from Odell. And yeah, I think a change of scenery for Odell would be good, considering that he hasn't hit the heights that he was with the Giants. And Eli Manning is not even the greatest type of quarterback. You know what I mean? Like,
Don't diss on Eli.
I don't want to put the guy we had on the last episode on blast. Your Eli Manning gave Odell a chance, or like he was the one who got him all these records, right? And you'd assume that Baker Mayfield coming out of Oklahoma, yeah, just Heisman winner, and just making like he would be just throwing rockets like Jameis Winston, trying to get like 5,000 yards, but like 40 interceptions. But
I
yeah,
was I was feeling some vibes from Baker, just some Johnny Manziel vibes from him. Just the
yeah,
amount of just press he was getting for like because he's a personality too. Like getting all this was it progressive commercials when he's like, "This is my house," and he's like I was like, man, what's this guy? What has he done yet to get all this clout? You know, like I wasn't sold on him. I think Kyler's doing better for himself like as Oklahoma Sooners Heisman winners goes as far as they go. But yeah, that wraps my thoughts about these injuries.
yeah. So just moving on from the NFL, we're gonna touch on the NBA, and first thing that's on the list